Welcome back, everybody. Sport Federation TV. We keep talking sport in the province. Right. Mountain biking. You know that last week, of course, we spoke about BMX, the big BMX event that was taking place in the Overberg area, which was absolutely fantastic. Great to see that the outdoor activities are doing so well. But of course, we've discussed mountain biking on the show before, and generally we think about mountain biking as the weekend warriors, the folks that are getting out there on their bikes over the weekend, getting onto the mountains, taking the outdoor trails. And certainly mountain biking is, of course, very popular in South Africa. But mountain biking also has multiple codes. Tonight we speak to Geoff McGiven, the Commissioner for Mountain Biking Western Cape. Jeff's going to give us a little bit of a rundown. Geoff, welcome to Sport Federation TV.
Thanks, JP. Yes, mountain biking in the Western Cape consists of the 4 codes. XCO, which is the cross-country Olympic, XCM, which is the cross-country marathon, enduro, and downhill. That those are the 4 codes that they consist of. So there's a good selection for guys to choose from.
Okay, Geoff, you're going to have to give me a bit more help here. Let's start at the beginning. There's so many letters that you mentioned there. Okay. XCO. Let's start with XCO. Just tell us how does that work?
Yeah. XC is the XC, and all of them stands for cross country.
Right.
And then you have the Olympic, which is the XCO. The Olympic is lap racing, where it's the race is governed on time. So they set down how far or over what duration. The elite athletes will race for about 1 hour and 20 minutes, and they work out the amount of laps over that. And then the XCM will be an out and back or a circular route over, for the ladies, the elite ladies, about 80 kilometers, and the elite men at World Championships, I think, was 120 kilometers. Enduro is then will consist of 5 stages, where you're only timed on the downhill piece or the fast piece of the stage. So they'll have 5 stages. The guys don't race to get up the hill. They take their time. It's actually a very social sport. It's probably the best growing of the lot.
Is that the one where we're seeing people generally on the mountain? Like on Saturday morning, people are on the mountain.
Yeah, they'll ride up to wherever the start of the first stage is. They tag in, go through the start beacon, and the stage will be 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then tag out, and then they wait for their buddies to get there, and they move to the next one.
So Geoff, just tell us a little bit about the link between social, mountain, weekend warrior type thing, and getting involved with mountain biking at a more formal level like this.
I think the average person would go, firstly from after he's bought his bike. And in the Western Cape, we're really lucky with the trails we've got. In the Bellville area, Durbanville area, we've got Tygerberg trails. In Paarl, we've got the Hero Adventure trails. In Somerset West, we've got the Wannabes. There's more out in Wellington and in the southern suburbs. There's the Tokai forests and stuff. So the guys start riding on the trails. It's safe. You're not going to get hit over by a car. You probably your biggest danger is yourself. Not being scared enough to slow down on the downhills, and or snakes in the summer. And the guys sort of start there, and then they'll go and enter an XCM race. Is usually the barrier to entry.
Yeah.
And the XCM races, as you have the racing snakes up front, which is maybe 20 or 30 riders, and the rest is made out of people that just want to have a good time.
So one of the big events that people always talk about is the Cape Epic. I'm assuming the Epic falls in under your jurisdiction.
Yeah, well, look, the Cape Epic actually starts on Sunday with a prologue at UCT. And yes, that's a stage race, which is a group of XEM races. Unfortunately, we don't have all the overseas competition we normally have due to COVID, due to the calendar that's, just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think with all the sports, the first 2 months of the year we lost. With the Western Cape being a hotspot, we had to cancel our first, I think, 3 events for the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, it's great to see the Epic starting up again. We lost last year's, and this year's was postponed till now. So guys riding the Epic will have one starting on Sunday and come back again in March for the next one. So let's hope by March we'll have all the spectators back, and we'll have all the heroes, the international guys, back here again.
Well, the Epic certainly has seemed to take people by storm in the last few years. It's one of the events that you certainly seem to have been managing to bring celebrities into the picture. Some of the big names that we've seen there: Joel Stransky, John Smith, Brayton Pulser, Ryan O'Connor. A bunch of celebrities have taken part in the Epic. All of them have complained about how tough it is, but it certainly has been getting attention from folks that you would not ordinarily consider to be mountain biking competitors, but making an event like that quite competitive.
Yes, I mean, I think these kind of things, you're competing. You've got the top guys in the world competing at the front, and then you've got the bunch of rugby players, the props competing against the wings and the fly-offs. But at the end of the day, it is. And another special thing, JP, is Hannah Steyn that has completed every single Epic so far. I think it's Hannah, Mike Nixon, and I forget the other 2 guys' names, but they've got the nickname the Last Lions, and they have competed in every single Epic that's been held so far.
So you've got the prologue starting this weekend. Starting at, did you say you're starting at UCT?
It starts at UCT. Unfortunately, there are no spectators allowed, like everything else. But yes, starts at UCT. They ride a circle up on the slopes of Table Mountain, and plum pudding is sort of a downhill that's pretty famous for this prologue. The prologue's about, I think it's just on 17 kilometers, and I think the winners kind of will come in probably in about 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes for that. And that prologue is basically used to seed everybody for the rest of the race. So, the guys that are right up at the front in the prologue will then start in the front batch, and the guys that are at the back, the heavyweights like me, will start at the back of the field.
We've also, over the last few years, seen quite a bit of broadcasting around the Epic, and I think 2 years ago we started seeing an introduction of well, let's just say an uptake of social media videos, people doing little videos from the start of the event. There was some live streaming involved. We know that at the moment, with the lack of spectators, people are moving towards the digital space. Can we expect any sort of coverage like that, where the average man on the street can just log on and see a little bit about what's going on?
There will be. It's quite difficult to work out how these things work, but it seems like broadcast live TV's just become so expensive.
Yes.
And internet TV is taking over slowly but surely. So from what I understand, every start and every finish will be live streamed, and there will be spots along the way where they will be following the leaders and giving feedback and sort of letting us know. There's also the guys all wear a tracking device or carry a tracking device, so you can see more or less where everybody is in the race.
That's fantastic stuff, Jeff. We leave it at that. Best of luck for the start of the Epic this weekend, and we're looking forward to the results. Looking forward to the rest of the calendar as well. We're so happy that you guys are able to stay active.
Yeah, thanks a lot, JP. Cheers.
There we go, folks. Geoff McGiven, mountain bike commissioner for Cycling Western Cape, and wow, massive events, very, very popular in the public space, and certainly, well, of course, South Africa's on the map where everybody's very proud of the structures, and that's really good. We'll, of course, keep you up to date, and we'll touch base with mountain biking on a regular basis to find out what they are up to. Folks, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll keep talking about sport in the Western Cape. Back in a sec.